Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
Hey, this is Andrew from the Boozy Pig, and when we play with our meat, it's always with the VooDoo Chef.
All right, get your drink on, man.
Oh,
Yes,
look
sir.
at that.
We'll see you in about 7. All right, look at that. I did it again, man. All right. What's going on, Foodies? It's another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast, and I got to tell you, today is super, super cool. We got a very cool guest, Andrew. I always mess up his last name, Tambuzzo. He is Boozy, and he is the Boozy Pig, and he's probably one of the most badass butchers in town, and he's going to be with us tonight talking all kinds of sausage making, and we're going to go through the process. We've got some photos where we actually made this sausage that we're going to be talking about today. I wish you could taste it, but reality is you can. He'll tell us all about his location and all that good stuff. Eddie C, what's going on, my friend?
Same as usual, man. Not enough. People need to get their ass on down there to that store at West Cypress and get some sausage. Get some
Oh
other
my
shit,
God.
man. They got
You
great
know,
food in that place. Little cafe on the side. Last time I went in there, man, the place was banging, nut to butt.
it's crazy. And just so you know, it's one of the only places down there in the West Shore, South Tampa area right now that you can pick up the VooDoo line. So if you're looking for VooDoo products, jump in there. The Boozy Pig has it rocking and rolling. We gotta get the homework out of the way here, man. We gotta give all our big shout outs. First and foremost, the golf tournament is officially official. Contracts are signed. We're looking at November 7th at the Eagles, our third year, our third golf course. We just like changing it up, man. It's going to be a great day.
Cool.
If you were there last year, I mean, rave reviews. We are doing something a little different. The first 2 years we had afternoon times. We're going for a 9 a.m. shotgun start this year, Big Eddie C.
Well, some people are just going to have to eat, get some breakfast sandwich in them early to start drinking, man. If you're going to be day drinking, carb it up, motherfuckers.
Well, you know, we are going to open the day with the VooDoo Chef Bloody Mary bar. So it's going to be a lot of people's first opportunity to take a look at the VooDoo Chef's Bloody Mary called the Bloody Swine. And, oh yeah, you know, our Bloody Gas Bar Bloody Mary, we do put a rib in that bad boy. The Bloody Swine's going to have a little bit more than just the rib of the pig. Oh yeah, it's a big daddy, and it's a monster. And that's how we're going to start our day, with a Bloody Swine, 9 a.m. shotgun, 18 holes of the game we love to hate, all to support the VooDoo Chef Foundation. Help us send some kids to school. Log on to VoodooChefGolf.com, VoodooChef.com, VoodooChefGolf.com, or VoodooChef.com. They all take you to the same place. And reserve your foursome today. It will sell out. We're only taking 72 teams, 72 players, 18 teams. We cannot go past that. Contract says so. It's all this COVID bullshit. Speaking of COVID bullshit, Ed, same mask every day, or do you have a different mask for every day?
I got a few different masks. You probably got the same shit in mail. I got a couple from Humana, and surprisingly, they're really comfortable. My wife picked up a couple when she was out at some place, and I put it on, and I look like fucking Dumbo. My ears were out like this, just going. I'm like, unsubscribe. You can wear this. Fuck that. It's not going to happen. And we all got to do it. I want to get back to a place where I don't have to wear that fucking thing. I hate it.
I agree.
Breathing problems. I got a big bone in my nose that goes like this. I got deviated septum. So it's just, breathing's a hassle for me anyway. Biologically, I wish I didn't have to.
I wish I didn't have to. I do have that asthma trait as well. And I put that mask on for like 5 minutes and I'm ready to just pass out. And I keep telling everybody, if I pass out, make sure they know I have asthma, not COVID. I just don't want it tagged incorrectly. But, we got to do it. We got to do it for other people. If you're out there and you don't have a mask, log on to VooDooChef.com, pick up a VooDoo mask. Support the brand as you're walking around making everybody feel good and safe and comfy. But, there's a lot of spikes happening again. They shut down Miami again. That's got me concerned. Not that I don't want everybody to be safe, but I'm worried about our industry. So if you're out there and you're listening to the VooDoo Chef podcast, do me a favor. Make sure you check out all our supporters. Jump into a Lessie Bakery if you're out. Pick up some scachata, some of the best in town. Grab a whole bunch of pastries. Make sure you say hello to Alexis while you're there, VooDoo Chef, Sous Chef. And, just hook it up. Spend a lot of money, help them out, local bakery, doing their thing. And we can't forget First Watch. First Watch, over 300 stores nationwide. Some of the best breakfast you're ever going to have. And the beauty of it, we know every recipe is created with love because they're all created by our buddy Shane Shively. Jump into those First Watch. These are major contributors that help us live our mission, and it's a tough time right now. So let's jump out there and see if we can throw some love their way.
Support local, man. The breweries are hurting right now too. There's some of the across the state that have closed for good, and right now they're lumped in with bars that can't sell anything. But they're a little different. They're not like a full service bar. They're all local. Most of them do not serve food. They don't have cafes built in. They depend on food trucks. And
because of the food trucks, that doesn't count towards their sales. So they can't use that in their ratio mix.
Right. So if you know a local brewery or somewhere that sells craft beer, go in and get whatever they're selling. Get a growler, get a crowler, get a 6-pack, keep them going because they're hurting in distribution too because the bars aren't there to sell their kegs. Grocery stores, it's always been a tough deal for them because they don't have the money that the bigger companies do to buy that space.
Right.
And, this has been one of the prime tourism drivers of the state over the last few years with the proliferation of them. And they're just a great place for communities to hang out. If you go to Tarpon or Dunedin, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 breweries and everybody's out. People go between them. And it's just, they're great things to encourage community.
Yeah, you introduced me to my first local brewery, and we went to the Big Daddy. We went to CCB, and it was you, myself, and William Workman, pop culture guru. And we may or may not have been drinking before we were going to a meeting. I don't know. We'll leave that story for a different day. But, CCB was a cool place. And now we hang out at quite a few. And A1 Bay is a huge supporter of VooDoo Chef and our mission. If you're out and about, stop in, pick up some of their cans, all the little fancy stuff Ed said, growlers, whatever they're called. And even if you don't drink, feel free to email us and we'll give you an address where you can ship it. And Ed and I will enjoy it on the next podcast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What's your favorite local brew?
God, man, there's a lot of them. if I got to nail down to one right out, it's Space Grass by Angry Chair. Just a fantastic floral complex IPA, not too heavy. It's about 6.7%. Highlight's always solid. This is kind of like the younger brother of that. Won't punch you in the throat as hard, but they make that one. It's just fantastic. I've gone in there and gotten couple of crowlers, and next thing I know, I drank them both, and you're like, holy shit, I just drank a half gallon of beer. And yeah, and then shit goes south when you try to stand up, and you start wobbling around like the
little spoiler alert here, Ed. I'm about to drink a half gallon of dark beer from Tennessee, if you know what I mean.
Oh, the one without the carbonation? Good man.
Yeah. My favorite, and you're going to laugh at me, but it's more of that company I keep, yourself included. We do a lot of caterings and a lot of pop-ups at 8-1 Bay. So for me, it's the Lightning Lager and the large mug.
Oh, that one's like...
Yeah, because at the end of the night, we get that huge mug, Lightning Lager. Me and H, you're drinking, heavier stuff. Yeah, and we slip out front and we enjoy a cigar before we leave, cap the night off.
That's awesome.
And it's probably, other than Coors Light, probably really the only beer I drink.
Hey, beer ain't for everybody, man. It's, I really wish I liked wine and champagne, but I try them and I try them and I try them, and they're kind of like onions. I haven't found a context. Yeah,
that's not your thing. Well, we got to get this thing rolling, but I do want to tell you, if you're out there and you're in the market, we got to throw just a little more love here before we pop in with Drew. If you're out there and you're looking for a refi, you're looking to buy a new home, or even if you just have questions for down the road, check out my boys at VooDoo Mortgage. And it's real simple, VooDooMortgage.com. We do not own this company. Let's put that out there. So God knows you don't want me fucking doing anything with your mortgage. But like we said last week when we had Jody on the podcast, we surround ourselves with people who know a hell of a lot more than we do. That's why Ed's here. He's kind of smart. Remember that. But, my people over at VooDoo Mortgage, VooDooMortgage.com, they'll take care of all your needs. Dave and Linda Thomas, just amazing, amazing people. Even if it's not something you're looking for now, something you're looking for down the road, they're the type of people who are going to get you set you up for success. So when it is time, you're ready to go. VooDooMortgage.com. Don't sit there and think this is the wrong time. There's never a wrong time to get yourself in better shape. So give them a shout, VooDooMortgage.com. Can't say enough about them. All right, you ready to jump in? Let's bring Drew in here. So, I was talking about, we had, if you don't know, I run the program over at Irwin Culinary. We got to flip that phone there. Huh? What? Now try flipping it back. See if it goes again. See if we can get, look at that orientation, rocking and rolling. So,
it's like a motion picture.
Andrew Tambuzzo, he, local dude. He came out to our school the other day. We've known each other for quite some time, but he came out to Irwin the other day, and we were hanging out, making some sausage for the kiddos, and just had an amazing time. It was kind of the culmination of us finally being able to connect and put my mission with his passion and just show some kids what it's all about. So, Andrew, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
You got a drink yet?
I finally got one, yeah.
All right.
Trying to catch up.
I haven't started yet because I gotta make sure I'm ready for. We got a big round of pop culture trivia tonight, buddy. I hope you're ready.
Well, I think so. I've been studying.
Hey, we had a great day yesterday. We had a great day, and we're going to be flipping some of these pictures up here as we talk about this. But let's get started with the shop, the Boozy Pig. And first of all, I just think that is like the coolest name on the planet. And it's super cool because it's kind of comes off your last name, but it kind of gives that play about like a drunken pig. Speaking of which, time for me to pour a drink. Tell us about Boozy Pig and how it got started.
Boozy Pig is, I'll tell you what it is first, and then we'll backtrack. Boozy Pig is a whole animal butcher shop. We source the majority of our proteins from local farms. We do the majority of the cutting and butchering in-house. And then from there, all of the meats that we use on the menu, full case of smoked sausages and jerkies and all kind of deli meats, all made in-house. All the sandwiches and the proteins for the menu are all prepared in-house from the same animals that are butchered.
And just so you know, Andrew, we already let people know that you have the full butcher shop and the cafe on the side. So we've already been letting people know about this amazing spot over in West Shore, South Tampa. What's the exact physical address for those who are local here?
3255 West Cypress Street. It's in between McDill and Himes on the north side of Cypress.
And we're open Tuesday through Saturday?
Wednesday through Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Yep. The kitchen's open 9 to 3, and the butcher shop is open 9 to 5 and 9 to 3 on Sundays.
And while we're doing all these commercial pieces, tell us about your social. So if we want to go check out some pictures, we can look at social media, whether it's Facebook, Insta. Which one do we carry?
It's Instagram or Facebook, just the Boozy Pig. Should be the only one, hopefully.
So the Boozy Pig on both Facebook and Instagram. So Voodies out there, if you don't know what a real butcher shop looks like, if you're nothing against any of these places that have meat cases in them. But when we talk about the Boozy Pig, Andrew said it right out of the gate. Whole animal. So this freaked out my students. You bring in a whole cow at a time. You bring in a whole pig at a time, and we break it down. And you said something else super cool, and it's the difference maker in a butcher shop versus, one of those farm factory big shop places that we won't mention any names. You know where your animal came from. You know the diet they're fed. You probably can tell me how old they are exactly. And you know the people who are growing these animals, which let us know even more. They're only fed top quality products, no antibiotics, no filler, no nothing. Talk about that a little bit, and who are some of these people locally here we're getting these animals from?
Yeah, so, you said it all pretty much. We're definitely sourcing the majority of those proteins from local farmers. The pork comes from Brooksville, Nature Delivered Farms. So it's all pasture-raised operation, no antibiotics, no hormones. Literally some of the best pork I've ever tasted.
I can attest to that.
I've been using her pork for quite a few years. Rebecca, she's got it going on out there.
Matter of fact, don't forget, I need 4 tomahawk porks. Don't forget.
Got you down.
All right.
Got you.
So let's talk about that pork real quick for a minute, buddy. You bring in this whole animal and you break it down. And you do the same with a cow. And I remember talking to you one day, and I'm like, dude, when you talk about this, you only got 2 loins, you only got 2 tenderloins, you only got this. You're gonna have to supplement with other pre-cut meats in order to keep up with the demand. And you looked at me and said, I'm not gonna do that. And you know what? I commend you for that, for sticking true to your passion. And you're fucking killing it, man. Your case is always full, but yet it's always turning and it's always something new. So hats off to you for that and sticking true to who you are, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Dude, you're a rock star. All of your stuff in there is fresh. You're not wavering. You're not settling. But I want to come in when you're breaking down the cow.
Yeah, come on.
So what's your number one selling product?
I would have to say it goes back and forth. From week to week, it changes. I mean, easily the steaks are always a big seller whenever they're in the case, but on a consistent level, I would say either the Italian sausage, our bacon, house bacon. I mean, talking 100 pounds a week.
That doesn't suck.
Damn.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's not. That may not be big for other places, but for us, that's huge. And yeah, definitely the sausages.
Ed and I were talking about the sausage making we did, and he was just at your place not too long ago, and he picked up one of my favorites, the jalapeno cheddar, and he also picked up some of the Italian, right, Ed?
Yes.
What did you do with it? How'd you prepare it? Did you just cook them as is?
Just grilled it, man. Just grilled it. They're both fantastic. The jalapeno cheddar is just fucking diabolical.
Phenomenal.
Like, it's
Phenomenal.
It's unbelievable.
I
I sit there the whole time practically singeing off my eyebrows watching the grill and turning and messing with it and doing this and that, just fucking with it, about to burn my fingers trying to eat it like right off the grill. It's, that shit is so good it doesn't need a bun. Fuck the bun, no condiments, none of that shit. That's why I don't even share it with anybody. It's like it's a party of one, because I'm afraid anybody that comes to my house, they're gonna fuck something up. They're gonna put ketchup and mustard on it, and I'm just gonna sit there and, I'm gonna look like fucking Michael Jackson when he turns into the zombie at Thriller. And he's like, I can't stand that shit. Like places like that have made me force myself to get away from smothering things in sauce. It's like, I'm 52. Don't eat like a goddamn toddler. My housekeeper's kids come over. Oh, do you have any Chick-fil-A sauce? Fuck the fuck off. Stop ruining your meat. God. Okay, rant over. Back to Drew.
So homie, tell me your Italian sausage. You're talking about this, and this is like what everybody talks about when they talk about your butchery. This sausage, it goes back quite a ways, doesn't it?
It does, yes. I learned the trade from my grandfather. He taught our family how to make sausage. He taught us the family recipe, and it was real important for him to pass on the tradition, pass on the technique, pass on all the equipment. And
the equipment's still in your shop, which is really cool.
Yes, we still have it. It was still in use up until not too long ago.
So was he a professional, or was this something he just did at the house to feed the family?
No, he had a small grocery store in Ybor City that they had opened back in the 40s. And he retired in late 80s, but as a kid, I'd go with him. He would still go in maybe once a month or every other month to go make sausage. Just to go, he would sell it to the guys that he played cards with and played dominoes with, or people would still come by the grocery store and buy it here and there. And he used to take me around town with him to go get the meat, to go get the spices, to go get all the ingredients, everything that I was going to need. And just coming up, those were just normal places to go.
So was he born here?
He was born here, yeah. He was.
So are you third generation Tampa?
Third generation.
And so he showed the whole family. He showed Dad. He showed you. And now, Dad's actually down there working with you, too.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't do it without him.
And, that's another, like, real amazing thing. To see you guys down there, that's important. Family's important. Nothing's more important than that.
Yeah, it's definitely lends to an easier atmosphere, more approachable atmosphere, for both the employees and our guests. Like I said, it wouldn't be the same without them.
Is your grandfather still alive?
Unfortunately, no.
Did he get to taste your sausage?
He did, yeah.
And what did he say?
It was okay.
You know what that means, right?
Yeah. Well,
that means I can't admit that it's better than mine.
Yeah, as long as he ate it, that's all that mattered.
He ate it all, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm sure he's real proud of you, man. And you're doing just some super cool stuff down there. Something else that I think's super amazing about you, you're always giving back. You know, you and I talk about teaming up and doing the VooDoo and helping kids, and you come out and you teach the students, you sell the VooDoo, but you know, that's not it. You're donating your time down at Pig Jig and donating product and time and cooking food. You're doing it all over town. This is like super cool, man. And I got to tell you, that makes you more important to me than that food you cook and the meat you cut. The fact that you're supporting the Tampa community and throwing out some love. What drives you to do that?
I don't know. I guess it's just where I'm from, and you know, I want to see those around, you know, have just some opportunity, and just to give back, just to be able to give back it means a lot. You know, I've seen this area change a whole lot, and you know, it's changing for the better, but you know, it still use some help. And
absolutely,
you know, I can figure wherever I can fit in and help out, I'm gonna try to.
And I don't want to like make you seem soft or anything, because you know, this first picture we're gonna throw up of you here. You know, you got that tough pose working, and you know, we can't see it now. It's gonna be edited in later, but you know, I believe when you and I were talking about helping kids and doing more give back, you were almost getting emotional about it. And I mean, it's obviously very important to you, and I take my hat off to you, friend. And you're a pretty young dude. We talked about this too. I won't say how old you are, but I will say that you went to Hillsborough High School when I was teaching there. And we all know I'm like, what, 33, 34. So, you know, what are you talking about, man? 35. All right, I won't lie. I'm 35, 6'7", 240, you know. Look, I haven't even drank that much, so you know it's true.
Look, I know how old I am. This is the third COVID haircut my wife gave me, and it's fucked up, man. This didn't realize my age. All this gray and shit.
I thought a bald spot was supposed to be here. Look, I got a bald line. What the fuck is that?
I don't know, but I got like some spot back here too. I'm headed toward that Danny DeVito donut head cut, man. It ain't looking good, you know. Young Buck here's got the nice full beard and the dark hair. Shit.
When you and I met, I was clean shaven, and I'm not opposed to going right back to that. So at some point, it's going back. I don't know when, you know. But hey, let's talk about this sausage we made, homie. So you were pretty simple with me. You gave me very limited ingredients and said, here's what I need. So we picked up some pork. We had salt. We had pepper. We had fresh garlic, fresh rosemary, red wine, not really, and a little bit of paprika. And that was it. Am I missing anything?
That was it.
So we started this thing, and, you know, I'm expecting we're making sausage. Now, of course, we're at the school. We've got the grinders. We've got the stuffers. But I'm thinking, you know, this is my whole animal butcher. Homie's going to be coming in with a cart and wheeling in a whole bunch of stuff. And, you know, it doesn't matter what we do for a living. You know, I've got you on this pedestal as being the whole meat butcher. And I just, you know, your mind starts to wander. And you walk in with a fucking boning knife, a rag, and a sausage pricker. What the fuck, man?
That's awesome.
Hey, it's all you need.
You took all the fucking mystery out of it. And so
it's all you need. You know, it's limited tools necessary, just the right tools.
So you come in and you sanitize out everything, and I'm gonna give you props on that. You know, we set up your entire station for you, and you know, we had it wiped down, and I'm gonna say we had it wiped down. Erik was nowhere around, somebody else did it. But but you came in and you did it anyway, and that's the right thing to do. So you never know who did what was done or not. And you're over in the 3 sink and you're doing all kinds of stuff, getting prepped, and then you get your table set, and then all of a sudden we're ready to go. And you know, you say you weren't classically trained, you didn't go to school, but to watch you teach this sausage class, I'm going to say bullshit. Your grandfather was one of the best educators fucking ever, because you were delivering all the right lines, all the right times, saying all the right things, teaching these people everything they need to know, not just about making the sausage, but about the food safety, about the cooking temps, about it all. So don't ever undersell yourself. You went through some of the best training ever, and that's the truth, brother. So don't sell that line anymore, because nobody's gonna fucking believe it after this. All right, so we give you the pork, and you take the pork out, and you start. Now we buy boneless butts. It's just what comes in on the truck. But you start trimming this thing down. You're taking out some bone fragments and the connective tissues, and just, I mean, it was like watching a master, which, you know, we were, because you're talking and cutting and cutting and talking, and it just seems so effortless. So talk about what makes your pride different than going to maybe a big butcher house or a mass production house, from the way you take care of your pork butt and trim it down, as opposed to some of these, you know, mechanically pulled processing plants and grind factories.
I guess the main difference is that I'm the same person that's making the decision on production and on the products and on the recipes, is also the same person that's tasting them and trying to sell them to the public. So my effort and my input is going to be a lot stronger. And, you know, basically the way we go about things is let's even if it takes a little bit longer to do it the right way, let's do it the right way. That way our product, you know, it'll sell itself, essentially. You know, if we take the time to do it right in the beginning, eventually we'll speed up at that process. We'll get better at it. And, you know, as long as you're doing it the right way, you know,
and you know, we were talking about some of these things as well, and you were removing some of that connective tissue, because by the time we get to the grind process, even though the amount you removed based on the amount of meat we had, it was so minimal, that little amount could mess up the entire process by blocking the grind plate, seizing the auger, turning that meat into schmear, which just totally affects the entire product. So we talk about it's in relationship percentage-wise. You didn't remove a lot of product, but on the grander scale, the things that it could have occurred would have led to a lot more waste product or inferior product. And
well, inferior product is what it's going to end up being, because I can tell you, the larger packing houses, they don't have the time on their schedule, their production schedules, to go through and remove all that connective tissue properly. And so what ends up happening, you end up getting a finer ground product, and you also end up getting pieces stuck in your teeth.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
God bless them. They serve a market, and God bless them for doing that. But you know, you serve a different market, and it's that extra care and extra time that goes in that creates that love, that creates that higher quality product. You know, once we got it all trimmed down, what we were talking about, the pork butt, and the pork butt is going to yield about an 80-20 meat to fat ratio, which is ideal for sausage, correct?
Right.
So there's very little we have to do other than make sure we trim it. You also pulled out a gland that's found at the beginning of the neck where the neck attaches. You pulled that gland out to make sure it wasn't included in the product because of the bitterness it's going to add. And then we started cutting it down into smaller pieces not so much small pieces like sausage, but pieces that would fit into the grinder. We don't want to try to force it in there. We want it to get in there and flow nice and evenly through the auger so that it comes out in a nice even grind out of the front. So as it comes out of the grinder, you caught it onto a big pan, and here's where it gets interesting. You took that ground meat, threw it right on the fucking table. You threw it right on the stainless table. I said, do you want a pan? He goes, I'm going to use this table because that's how I would do it. And as you could see in the pictures that we're showing, you kind of spread that meat out on the table, kind of like, like you're spreading a pizza pie. I mean, it was round and thin, and then almost like we dock our pizza dough so we don't get these air bubbles. You were kind of putting holes into the meat, and you were doing that so that it would give us pockets for the various seasons you added. Now, again, you added salt, pepper, fresh garlic, fresh rosemary, paprika, and red wine. Red wine came later. To me, I overproduced the fuck out of everything. Very minimal. Tell me about that. Why? And again, the sausage was phenomenal. It was even better today. But talk about that. It wasn't overproduced. It was evenly balanced. How do you come up with that light hand, that touch, that perfect blend?
I mean, I guess sausage traditionally was a poor man's food. It
Absolutely.
was bottom of the barrel, and so
Deep cuts.
I guess so traditionally sausage is just a simple way of preparing what's left over, the intestines and a few meat scraps. So why not? Why overdo it? You can definitely overdo it. You can, but why? It's not necessary, especially if the product's good. A lot of times you can just let the product speak for itself and not try to mask it with too much seasoning.
And you're exactly right. When it first started, it was a way for butchers to get rid of their scrap meats, and they would sell it at a very reasonable price because to them it was scrap. But as they started adding the flavorings, they started to create their own flavor profiles, create their own sausages. And now we have sausages, you could tell from the region, and inside that region, you could tell the different chefs and their tweaks. And then with demand came the price raise, and it started becoming almost its own cut of meat, even though it's just a recycle. Now, talk to me about the water. So, we talk about the charcuterie, we talk about the smoothing of these meats. You take the meat, you laid it out, you add the seasonings, and then we add water. What's the purpose of that? What are we looking for here?
Oh, the water, it's I guess it serves a few different purposes. One, it definitely helps mix the meat, helps blend all the spices in the meat. But also it helps create that bind that you're looking for. That's essentially, once you cook the sausage, it's either going to, bind together the meat, the fat, and the spices all together, or it's not. If it's done properly, it will, with the right amount of water, the right amount of fat, the right amount of lean meat. That'll happen. But that's pretty much it. And also, there's a lot of friction going on when you're processing the meat. So the water, use cold water, use ice. That helps, one, to lubricate everything, but also to keep it chilled, keep it at temperature.
So when you were adding that water, you were working and you were kneading it almost like you would see someone knead a dough. You weren't putting pressure on it, but you're throwing it around, making sure everything was fully blended. We were making a small 10-pound batch. How do you know when the water is right? Because you would add and you would feel and touch. How can we let people know who are making sausage out there themselves? What's the trick? How do we know when there's enough water? I think you used the word tacky. How do we know when it's tacky enough to move on to the next step?
Well, there's, what I use my personally is a certain volume per weight of meat. So, if it's going to be a couple of ounces per pound, easy, and you can always increase that, but that's just a good basis to start at. Wait, what was the other part of the question?
How do you know when it's tacky enough? I mean,
yeah. So once you kind of mix all of that liquid in there, as you're mixing, the meat's going to start getting more tacky and more tacky. And once you're able to pretty much mix it and it's starting to stick to your hands, it's starting to stick to the table a little bit, that you're starting to develop that myosin that kind of talked about in the class a little bit. And you're really starting to really develop what will be the bind in that meat, so that when you can pick it up, turn your hand upside down, the meat hopefully stick to your hand, and you've achieved the right mix.
We hear about all these little things we do to check food, and I've heard about this process of making sure that when you flip it over, it'll hold for 3 to 5 seconds. And I'm just like, this shit ain't real. Here comes Drew, and he's doing his routine, and he scoops it up, and he goes, and then it plops. And then he scoops it up, and it plops. And I'm like, damn, that shit is real, bro. So that is, you check your meat, we'll call it by the blizzard method. You hold it upside down and the shit don't fall out, we're good. But it's only for 3 to 5 seconds. And that's when you know you had the right tackiness. Does that sound about right?
That's right.
All right, so at this point, we're almost at the eating stage. At this point, if we wanted to patty it up, this is where we would patty it up. True?
That's right.
And I think we made some patties, and we got those ready. But I got to tell you, it took all I had not to bring out my third grade giggle jokes, because this is where it got good. This is where we got to the point where we made some patties, but then we took the rest of the sausage meat, and we were getting ready to stuff it. So for the stuffing, you brought some hog intestines. We could also use sheep. You said the sheep would be a little thinner than the hog. And this is where it got good, man. First thing you said, we got to get a little bit of the meat, and we got to lube the horn. Dude, what the fuck, man?
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, I was going to throw out that disclaimer that there's a lot of terms and lingo when making sauces.
So after you told me we had to lube the horn, you told me that we had to make sure we control the speed so that we don't have a blowout.
That's right.
I mean,
the
dude.
The blowout's got to be controlled.
Then you said, make sure not to hold it too tight. You want to hold your meat loosely.
That's right.
And then you said, make sure you don't squeeze too tight. Dude, what are you trying to do to me, man? Get me fired?
Hey, man, that's just how it goes. Once you
not everybody's like a sixth grader.
Hey, I resemble that
No,
remark.
hey, listen, the jokes fly constantly. The jokes fly constantly, and not just with, in all aspects. All day long, they fly. That's just how it goes.
So in all reality, we put the meat back in the auger. We had the sausage horn attached, and we put the intestine on, and we made rope sausage, and we made link sausage out of that same blended meat. So we had patties, we had rope, and we had link. And we cooked them up, and we let everybody taste them. And it was just an amazing day. It was an amazing day, and they were still talking about it today. We should talk about, we want to let this rest overnight to let it come back together in the refrigerator, weep off some of that liquid. It's going to create a tighter casing. It's going to create a more crisp casing when we cook it. That moisture inside is going to help cook that sausage from the inside out as we're cooking it outside in. Just just, dude, start to finish, top notch, class act, amazing, amazing demo. I can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. Like I told you, let me know next semester. We'll do it again.
Oh, dude, we'll do this all the time. But the thing is, every time we come, we got to do a new flavor profile.
Deal.
Because I just want to taste something new every time. I'm being selfish.
Well, I can see. Well, maybe we can. I just have to play with the spice rubs a little bit and see what the salt ratio is and how I need to adjust what I normally would use. And I can use either. I was either thinking the Nola, the red, maybe the dirt.
Dude, let's do some Nola sausage, man. That would be amazing.
Just got to play with it a little bit and see what the salt ratio is.
That's too easy, man. We have all those on file.
Okay.
I just got to get over to the plant because, like I was telling you, I wrote all the recipes, but then we send them to the plant so that they're made under, the proper conditions,
Yeah.
FDA, so USDA, so they can go in the markets and shit. And I don't make them every day, so they're not on the forefront of my head. But we can easily pull those recipe cards, get those nut facts, and figure it out. That would be super cool. Hey, most important, before we start slipping into mindless bullshit, one more time, the social media for both Facebook and Instagram, the Boozy Pig. That's it.
Yeah, Boozy Pig on both Facebook and Instagram. BoozyPig@gmail.com if you want to send us an email. 3255 West Cypress over in West Tampa. Come see us.
And what about a website? Do we have a website?
If you look up our website, it's going to take you right to our Instagram page.
Cool.
That'll work.
What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite cut of meat?
Probably going to have to say for pork, I have to say a copa chop, which is part of the neck. For beef, I'd probably have to say either the shank or the Denver cut, which is also from up in the neck.
I might have to try that one.
Denver's
I've never had it.
Amazing.
I've never had it. I might have to try that.
The Denver's pretty awesome. It's like a New York strip, but with the flavor of the chuck. So it's kind of like a strip, but the flavor and the complexity it's real beefy. It's real.
I was actually just reading about it, and it just gets amazing reviews.
It's like that esoteric one the butchers don't want to tell anybody about. I think I read about it. It's like triangular, maybe. Is that the one or no?
No, you might be thinking of tri-tip or picanha. I mean,
yeah.
All those cuts, man, I tell everybody about them because not too many people have seen. That's the beauty about getting in the whole animal is that you get every cut. So that if I am out of tenderloin, which I am 99% of the time, and you walk in wanting that, well, I can direct you to another cut that's probably better than a tenderloin. Just, it's going to be either just as tender, it's going to be, more flavorful, more times than not, especially from the tri-tip. There's a lot more. It's a whole experience. You come in and you might be looking for something, but I'll educate you on something else and hopefully you come back. Hopefully you like and come back.
And whatever you buy, smother that shit in VooDoo. All right, we gotta get into the most pointless part of everything we do here, which is the whole reason why I log in for this shit. We're gonna ask you 5 questions, and they're totally specific to you. And we like to think that they're the same every week, but I'm sitting here with a glass of Jack, so they're really. But there is no wrong answer. It's just going to give us a little more insight to you. What's your favorite color?
Probably black.
I was gonna say you're all in black, dude. Come on.
I represent.
And I gotta go backwards for a minute because I do want to say you are a Hillsborough High School, Hillsborough County, Hillsborough High School alum, Tampa native, and thanks for doing all you do for the community. Because once we get this shit started, it's all over. All right, so black's your favorite color. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke all day.
Hey, we've only had one Pepsi ever. Thank God. He's not allowed back.
Shit canned him.
How do you eat your steak?
Depends on the steak.
Majority of your steaks?
Medium rare.
You gotta ask a fucking butcher. He's gotta, depends on the steak. Fucker.
Well, here's my defense. Steaks that have more fat, I like that fat to cook down because I like to eat it. So I wanted that fat to be charred up a little bit, want that to render a little bit. Lends to a juicier cut, a juicier steak. Even though it might be cooked a little bit more, it tends to be juicier.
Get a sous vide. get a sous vide, man.
I love them.
We'll get you an Innova. All right. Ed, I'm at a loss. If you could have dinner with one person, alive or dead, who would that be? I already know the answer.
I don't know. I've never thought about that. My mom.
Good answer.
I don't think so. I said my mom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's my answer, too. Not your mom, my mom.
Yeah.
Don't come kick my ass.
No, it's all good.
All right, last question. I got a new one for you here. If you could visit any place in the world, where would that be?
Probably Lyon, France.
And why is that?
That's where all the, I guess, modern culinary started.
Yeah, I'm not a French guy. We talked about this.
Well, there's a lot of small towns on the outskirts that are famous for their butchering. Gascony is like one of the most famous butchering towns ever.
We have got to get you connected with Carlos. Carlos loves charcuterie. We got to get you guys connected. And it's sad because what year did you graduate?
2002.
So you and Carlos spent time at Hillsborough together, probably your freshman, sophomore year. And then he came over to Chamberlain when I moved to Chamberlain. But, he's the exec chef out at Puff and Stuff. We got to get you.
Yeah. You mentioned him at the shop.
Yeah, we got to get you guys connected just to get in the same room and play. That'll be fun. All right, man. My favorite part of the whole night. We're gonna bring in some friends here, and we're gonna get busy with the little pointless pop culture trivia. So
Because my magician is on.
we've got Lizanne Ippolito coming in, and Lizanne is a Hillsborough County Public Schools administrator. So you're in trouble now, buddy. She is a pop culture guru along the lines of William Workman, public educator.
Uh-oh.
And we also have VooDoo Chef Ambassador, Sam Creighton, the barbecue expert over at the Pinch a Penny in Fish Hog. Lizanne, Sam, what's going on tonight? You guys doing all right?
Doing great.
Sam, you with us audio-wise? Sam, can you hear us? Let me send Sam a quick text here.
There's Sam.
Can you hear me, Sam? What's funny is, as I'm going to send Sam a text here, I have a text from Lizanne that says, "Oh my God, I forgot everything I've been studying."
Describes
All
my
right,
entire
let's see
high
if
school
Sam can hear
experience.
us. And his name's really not Tyler, it's Sam.
He's on mute now.
Oh, there we go. Let me see if I can get him off of mute. You know, Sam, can you hear us? No audio yet. Sam, if we can't hear you, you're gonna watch. And I can guarantee that at least no one will be a loser but Sam. No, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Nobody
Shake
puts
your head.
baby in the corner, but Sam will go in the corner.
Can you hear us? If you can hear us, shake your head. 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 All right, Sam, we're going to get started, buddy. You keep working on it. All right, the rules of Pointless Pop Culture Trivia are super, super easy. No cheating. No cheating. These are super, super tough questions, and we don't want anybody cheating to find the answers. And rule number 2, you must have a drink. Does everybody have a drink?
I'm in.
Is that Dana's water? And we've got,
Leftover half and half.
I am loading up here. And just so you know, the winner of tonight's Pointless Pop Culture Trivia will be entered into a drawing for the opportunity to win the right to possibly be chosen for a prize to be named later, later dates. We have no clue what the fuck you're doing. All right, so Ed is the judge of Pointless Pop Culture Trivia here, and his ruling counts, and his is the final ruling. If you know the answer to the question, you will simply shout out your name. So if you know the answer, you will shout out your name, and you will be able to answer that question when Ed recognizes you. If you answer out of turn, the answer will not count. And again, Ed is the keeper of all rules for this because he's probably the only one who's not really drinking.
It's true.
All right. As always, right, Ed?
Seems that way, doesn't it? Sad.
Question number 1. Which country produces the most coffee in the world?
Lizanne.
Andrew.
I'm gonna say. I raised my hand. I didn't say my name. I'm gonna say the United States.
The United States. That is incorrect.
Over to Andrew. Drew.
Andrew, do you have
Colombia.
an answer?
Colombia.
Colombia. That too is incorrect.
That's what's gonna be my other guess. Come on, Sam.
I got
The
to
cor-
again.
The correct answer is Brazil. All right, Sam, do we have you now?
I'm here.
You're here. Can we delete one of you so we don't have the echo?
I'm working on.
All right, now let me see if I can unmute you. There we go. Do we have you?
Almost.
Can
All
you
right,
hear
we
me
got
now?
you.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
What? Are you there,
Can you hear
Sam?
me?
Sam,
Hey,
can
Sam.
we? Oh, you let the joke go, Lizzie.
Oh,
All right, Sam,
I
you got a
see you
cocktail?
working. I
Got
got
a
it.
cocktail?
I do.
We're drinking Jack, right?
Always.
All right, so nobody got the first question right, so you didn't miss out on much. Question number 2, and just so you know, I will lose track of these questions by next question.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Who was the winner?
The first winner.
Who was the first winner of The Masked Singer?
boy, do you have some losers for Paul culture.
The
tonight.
robot was the character, and it was a rapper.
He was a rapper, and he was the monster. Not that I watch that show.
That's right. The robot was the first one this time that got elected.
He's a rapper.
All
It
right.
was a rapper.
LL Cool J.
No,
Lizanne. No.
No.
Even though you shouted your name, it's still not LL Cool J. The correct answer is T-Pain. T-Pain. All right.
I'm feeling some pain.
Question number 3. Who is the half-blood prince in Harry Potter?
Snape.
Oh,
Severus Snape.
Lizanne.
Sam was in first, right? Sam.
I don't know any of this shit.
Sam, who is it?
Severus Snape.
Lizanne, is that correct? That is correct. So Sam is leading 1-0.
I got T-Pain too.
Did you say that?
I
Did he
did.
say
We said a
T-Pain?
robot rapper.
And then I said the name T-Pain, but it was Robot was the first one to get kicked out this season.
Well, we'll see if it comes down to 1.
Can you?
All right. So,
Can you just block Sam?
well, I might
got
have to
one
block.
right.
I might have to block Andrew because I think this one's right up his alley.
Uh-oh.
You know, we just made some pork butt sausage. So, who is the oldest Kardashian sister?
Sam. Kim.
Kim.
Sam said Kim, and that is
Andrew.
wrong. Andrew.
Courtney.
Andrew's wife says it's Courtney, and she is correct.
How the fuck did you go from we just made sausage to Drew? This is right up your alley.
We just used pork butts to
I
make
was gonna say-
sausage.
Oh, okay. Because
That's why I thought
Kardashians all have big asses. Okay. I was like, what a segue, man. Holy shit.
All right, so according to our score, we have a tie. According to Sam, he's winning by 1.
And that's the truth.
All right. Here's another one that I was almost reluctant to put on. What's the body's largest organ?
The skin.
Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew.
who's it? Andrew.
Andrew said his name first.
Oh, I missed the part of the rules.
Andrew, what's the answer?
Kim.
The skin.
You gotta yell
You
his
stole
Skin.
my
name
answer,
first.
Andrew. That
Right,
doesn't count.
just to throw this out here,
Yeah, but I knew
and
the
you do
rules.
know I announced you as a administrator for the school district.
I know. Why did you say that?
You do know that you're the one who recommended the Harry Potter books to me, right? And you do know you're a nurse, right?
Yes, but I have to think of my name first.
There's the problem.
Right.
You don't know your name.
Just yell out any name.
Okay.
Yeah. Bob. Yeah.
Okay. Ed, I don't know what question we're on or what the score is.
We're on question 6.
I know which one. I don't know the number. All right. So do you know the score?
No.
Because you know.
I
Well,
started
somebody's
laughing
going to win the
after this
opportunity to
question.
be entered into a drawing for the opportunity to be chosen for a prize to be named at a later date. So we need to know. I think it's 2-1. And on our score sheet, it's 2-1. On Sam's, it's 2-2.
Okay.
Okay, so which pop star burnt down her home gym with candles?
Pop star? Sam, that's got to be.
Okay, Lizanne called in with Sam's name.
Holy mackerel. What's in that cup?
And what would exactly? It's Nana's water. What's the answer?
Brittany?
It is Britney Spears.
Yeah.
So it's 2-1 or 2-2.
Am I on the board?
You're on
Yeah.
the board.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to hear it. That's fucking hilarious.
All righty, here we go. What's the name of the toy cowboy in Toy Story?
Sam.
Sam is in.
Woody.
It is Woody.
It is Woody.
So now it's 2 to 2 to 1 or 2 to 3 to 1, depending on which game you're following or how much you've had to drink.
Go back and check the audio. I said,
Okay, Dylan, Stephanie.
That
All
was his
right,
excuse.
this is a tough one. This is going to be. We'll see who the real pop culture trivia icon is here.
Yeah. this
Saved by
sucks.
the Bell has recently confirmed a reboot. Can you name all 6 original cast members? Ed, you're going to have to track this.
I'm looking at it now.
do you want the actual actor and actress or the
Screen
the
names.
name of the-
Screen names. Characters, screen names.
CJ Slater. Oh, sorry, Sam.
Sam.
Sam, you can answer for me.
AJ Slater.
Oh, who's feeding him the answers? He's got help. Look at his eyeballs. He's got help. I heard AC. I heard AC. Who was the second one?
Lisa.
He
Screech.
said AJ.
Got 3 of them.
I got
Leanne
3.
Tweeden played one.
Andrew.
Oh, he's going to steal. Andrew, come in for the steal.
Steele.
Yep. Come on in. Let's go. Get it, Andrew.
You got
Tom?
AC Slater,
AC.
He's
AC
being
Slater,
fed. Look
Zach,
at those eyes.
Zach and Screech.
Zach Screech.
And then you got Kelly Kapowski. You
Kelly
got
Kapowski.
Lisa
And Jesse
Turtle.
Spano.
Lisa
And Jesse.
Turtle.
And Jesse Spano.
And Jesse Spano. I don't know
Well,
who
let's
at your
go to
house
the
watches that show, but tell
Yeah.
them awesome job.
Damn. Bravo.
And so, I know them all too. Not that I watch that show.
I think I just stole that one.
You think you just stole the whole game there?
Not the whole game, just that one.
Well, now's going to be the real Ed, do we know the score? It's kind of like remote control right now. Just make it up.
I think there's like 2, 2, and 2, and there's some other fucking one.
How many points do I have?
Oh, you're a 0.
Oh, well, fuck. Maybe I'll get this one right.
At
I
least
think
I
everybody's got 2 because nobody got, what do you call it, T-Pain.
Well, Sam got T-Pain in his Sam got. All right, you
Check
got to
the
be a
audio.
real
I'm just saying.
you got to be a real believer to get this one right. Justin Bieber released a charity single this week with which other pop star? No believers in the house?
Man.
Justin Bieber.
Is he still a thing?
You know that girl from Canada that's a singer?
Right.
Justin Bieber released a charity single this week with which other pop star?
Tony Bennett.
Oh, man.
How many times have you seen Tony Bennett in concert?
Just twice.
I was expecting you to go just twice. The answer is Ariana Grande.
He's still around.
Absolutely.
Still a thing.
All right, here we go. Only 37 more questions. Ashton Kutcher is known for his acting, but he was also the host of what MTV show?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Punked.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that just spun off so many other shows, especially with those Jersey guys now who are just like pushing it over the edge. Not that I watch that show either.
Jersey guys.
I don't know. What are they called? The Jersey Shore dudes? Paul Lee and somebody? I've never seen Jersey Shore. True statement. Honest to God.
Wow, even I've seen that trash.
Never seen that trash. I watch other trash.
That you do.
That I do. All right. A few questions left. It's coming down to the end. I think Ed's winning by 4. Howard Wolowitz is a character from what popular U.S. TV
Sam.
show?
Lizanne.
Oh, Ed, make the
Sam
ruling.
already got-
Lizanne, I think, barked it out.
Big
No,
Bang.
that Sam was first.
Dude, I got a delay here. I don't know what to tell you. So I heard
Go
Lizanne.
check the tape. What's the answer, Lizanne?
Big Bang.
The Big Bang Theory.
I'm used to
Big
women
Bang
yelling
Theory.
at.
I think we are 3-3-2.
Yes.
Drew, Sam, Lizanne. So, Lizanne, you got to get this right to stay in the running for the last question. When Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls, how many NBA championships did he win?
Andrew.
Sam,
Dan.
Sam got that.
No,
6.
I didn't.
The answer is 6.
I
The
knew that.
answer is 6.
I definitely. Hey, there's a delay for sure.
I'm the only one not drinking booze, so I'll tell you.
All right, here we go.
A little bit.
Second to last question. What year was the very first model iPhone released?
Model iPhone. That had to have been.
iPhone 1, what year? Lizanne's in.
Lizanne yelling Sam, yes.
2001.
No.
No.
I was going to say 5.
Any of the other 7 people in the room want to take a guess?
Sam,
Sam,
Sam hit it.
2008.
2008, incorrect. Any of the other 7 people in the room want to take a guess?
Andrew.
Andrew,
Andrew.
2005.
2007.
7.
2007.
Even threw out that big hint.
Hey guys, last question of the night. For your money, what's the best sauce and seasoning out there on the market today?
Sam,
Sam,
VooDoo Chef.
VooDoo Chef sauces and seasonings, guys. Thanks for coming, hanging out, and playing tonight, Andrew. Thanks for coming in, being our guest tonight, talking about sausage, talking about Boozy Pig. Everybody get out there, show the love. Lizanne, Sam, thanks for playing trivia. We will catch you guys very soon. Have a
See ya.
great night, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things voodoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things voodoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.
when you beg for my